I think Amazon's taking over the world. They're trying to get into all facets of business and consumer life. But this is an interesting move, don't you think, Barry?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think their focus is changing to brick and mortar. Ultimately, I think a lot of people said that it's really the data that they were after, how consumers, think, how they shop, because it's information.
I think it's also about being close to the consumer as well, because it's as close as your computer screen. However, there's still that distance, perceived distance. I think if Amazon has a physical store or physical presence right down your block, I think you feel more of a connection to it. And I think they're just trying to really connect to their customers. Part of it, I think, is it will be Whole Foods adapting to the Amazon way, which is more about, they're more about delivery, right? So if Amazon is in Whole Foods, I guarantee that a portion of every Whole Foods will be dedicated to delivery, and that's going to be a lot bigger part. And Amazon's figured that out. They know delivery, and they know quick delivery. And I think that'll be the real big difference that I think we're going to see immediately is the delivery from those distributed stores.
I see them also integrating Amazon Go into each store, because if you can walk in there with the intent to buy prepared food and walk out without having to go to a cash register, that's going to simplify it and make it really easy. Most Americans like me have not really experienced Amazon Go. I would like to be able to do that, walk in there, grab my sandwich, walk out, and I think that'll increase sales.
I think the experience is easy to find. You can find people with that experience. There's a lot of retailers out there that are downsizing. So I think, I don't think the experience part is something that they'll struggle with. They'll bring that out. They'll bring that on. That actually may be the advantage. Because they don't have such traditional retailers or people that have been in the field, they will maybe not fall into some of the traditional pitfalls or things that they know to work, which really don't work. Maybe are not the best way.
I think this acquisition too is about accessing the demographic with more expendable income, and Whole Foods gives them that
margin.
Walmart is way different. The middle class of America is getting squeezed out, and people are going to a one or the other end. And in this case, Whole Foods is going to be growing. Their customer demographic base is going to grow, and Amazon's going to be able to take advantage of that.
Yeah, as far as challenges to moving to or integration, not moving to, but integrating bricks and mortar, I don't think there really will be much hardship for them to do that. I think they hire good people, and they've got experts in the field that will that have been there before, and they'll hire retail experts that have already had that experience, and I just don't anticipate much challenge for them to integrate that way.
More of the space will have to be dedicated for delivery. Maybe a little more warehousing than open shelf space, and they may need fewer cashiers with Go. So probably a net of not much difference, I would think.
Well, throughout grocery, whether it's Whole Foods or any other grocery, I think the prepared meals will continue to be a bigger offering. The studies show that millennials spend more money dining out than every generation before, and it's not even close. It's by a lot.
Yeah, the only other thing I could possibly add to that is some dedicated, not in store, but out of store for delivery. So vehicles, whether they're drones on the roof or delivery vehicles that are taking up parking spots, that would otherwise be dedicated for customers that don't need to come in, or don't need to stay. So that's the only other thing I would add.
It's a case by case basis, right? I mean, at the end of the day, grocery stores are still a very strong category in overall retail. Some have better balance sheets than others, and so I think lenders will really look at what's the strength of the individual grocer. It may have, traditionally where you could really sell a strong grocery store at a very low cap rate. Maybe there's upward pressure on cap rates because investors no longer see them as a safe, investment. So you could see pressure there, but you're not seeing many grocery anchored shopping centers being developed anymore. So the inventory is almost finite. It's just because the cost of land, especially in the Seattle market, you can't develop those type of centers anymore. You have to go vertical. So given that building anymore, and some of them are being repurposed, the ones that exist are actually pretty valuable and pretty, there's a high demand for them.
A well-located grocery store will always be in big demand. And if the tenant doesn't have good credit, they'll find a grocer who does have good credit. And Amazon has good credit.
And the big stores, they all know their demographics. They all know what they're looking for. So it's they're usually safe locations. They're not going to spend, because they're spending millions of dollars to be there, and so they're not going to spend that kind of money without doing the research to make sure that they're going to be successful. That's why a lot of the grocery anchored stores, yes, some of them struggle, but most of them don't. It's a very strong category for investors.
I think it was already mentioned that these stores are probably going to have a delivery component, which will require likely the addition of some warehouse space for additional inventory, for trucks. And with that is going to be a need for additional office space. Not that Amazon doesn't already have a lot of office space in the Seattle area, but they'll probably have more office space where these stores are located.
And as they want to be closer to their customer for shorter delivery times, they will need to have distributed warehouses. So not just one big giant warehouse in the middle of the country. You need distributed warehouses all over and close to the people. So so maybe they're slightly smaller, but they're a lot closer to cities, and so anything that's any sort of close in warehouse, I think will remain in very high demand.
And it's already happened.
Yeah.
I mean, the development of office and industrial is well outpaced the development of retail.
I think as the strength of Amazon is crystal clear, when you walk out of the doors in Bellevue or Seattle, in this area, just Amazon's 10 million square feet of office space in this area speaks to the strength and longevity, I think, of them as a company. And anymore, I can't imagine Seattle without them. It's just such an important and now integral part of the Seattle area, Puget Sound.
As long as they can find the talent, as long as they can find the people to hire, they'll continue to grow in this market.
They're not a mature company, and so their trajectory is still extremely steep, and I think it'll continue to grow substantially over the next 5 years at least.